Good Monday evening. It's First Alert meteorologist Isaac Williams with an update on some busier weather that's going to continue the next couple days. I'll have the latest on Tropical Storm Erin as well, and we'll get you over to the Super 7-day forecast. Welcome in. This evening, we have First Alert weather days for this afternoon, and this evening we saw some rain and storms out there, and then tomorrow and Wednesday, so 3 total. For daily downpours and storms. Tomorrow is looking a little bit more active than what we saw today. We had some rain earlier this morning in the metro, and then we kind of dried up a little bit. The temperature shot up into the middle and upper 80s. Actually, we got up to at least 87 degrees. And it is certainly humid out there. We felt like the 90s a good portion of the afternoon as the rain really kind of avoided metro Atlanta. In fact, the almanac today getting up to 88. It's the closest we have been really to normal in a while around here. Officially 19/100ths of an inch of rain in the bucket down at Hartsfield Jackson, bringing us our monthly total now almost to 2 inches of rain. That is about plus 0.48 for the month. So we are still running ahead for the month, but we are behind slightly for the year. But overall, I think we're doing pretty good with rain coverage and rain totals around here relative to what they should be for this time of the year. We're on pace really to have a normal rain year if these patterns continue. Highs today, 80s across the board. So we got up to 83 in Athens today, 88 in Macon, 88 in Albany, 94 in Jacksonville. So that hotter air is still being kind of pushed off to the south and east. And it has been, I think, 10 days at least since we have seen a 90-degree high temperature here in Atlanta. Again, getting close today, 88. I don't think we're going to get as hot tomorrow because I am expecting more rain and storms tomorrow versus what we did see today, although we do still have some rain and storms on First Alert radar. This afternoon, though, you can see a nice view on the north side of town looking back across the scattered clouds, but the sunshine continues here, and most of the metro is dry this evening here. But we are going to see a chance at some showers and storms to linger. So here's First Alert radar. Notice, of course, your kind of eyes drawn to Eatonton and points just south of there. That's where the heaviest rain and storm action is this evening, right over Milledgeville. Watching some pretty heavy rain and storms there, and they are lifting northward closer to Jasper and Putnam counties. So this is in far southeast portions of the coverage area, but if you live in Eatonton or in and around Lake Oconee, we're going to see these storms lift northward. They're only moving at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, but obviously packing a punch here right over Milledgeville. Some pretty nasty weather there. Closer to the metro, we are still seeing some rain on kind of the south and west side, kind of in southwest Fulton County, not too far from Union City, and then into Douglas County, and then Haralson County seeing some heavier rain not too far from Tallapoosa and Waco there, right on and just north of Interstate 20. And that does extend over into portions of Cleveland County, Alabama. To the north, we have some spotty rain in Bartow County, or Barrow County, excuse me, west of Canton there, and then up into LJ. We've got chances for a few showers to continue there just north of LJ, between LJ and Blue Ridge. But overall, the rain coverage is fairly scattered and isolated, but we are expecting a bit more in the way of rain and storm coverage tomorrow. As we kind of take a look at the bigger pattern, there's actually a weak area of low pressure in the northern Gulf, and it is going to be sending lots of moisture up into Georgia. In fact, we're getting more moisture tomorrow than we did today, and with that in mind, we're going to see, I think, a better chance at rain and storms to come in that could impact the morning commute tomorrow as well. And again, the First Alert weather day continues for Tuesday, as we may see waves of rain and storms pick up, and highs likely to only be kind of in the lower 80s. Again, I don't expect that extended duration sunshine that we got today. I think the rain coverage will be a little bit more widespread tomorrow. And for that reason, the Weather Prediction Center has put a level 2 out of 4 risk of flash flooding for most of North Georgia, including Metro Atlanta. This does extend up into the mountains of the Western Carolinas and East Tennessee, Clay County, North Carolina, you folks up there included as well. So we do expect a higher probability to see at least some degree of flooding tomorrow, just because the coverage of the rain and the storms does look a bit more impressive for tomorrow. In fact, this was updated at about 4 o'clock today, this outlook, and it did raise the flash flooding risk, is that some of our models definitely are coming in wetter. So here's a look at Futurecast. So between daybreak and noon, I think the rain coverage will be increasing, and definitely the back end of the rush hour up until lunchtime, we'll start to see the weather conditions deteriorate, at least if this model is correct, potentially for Metro Atlanta. And then again, we don't really get a lot of a break. The rain coverage may shift around a little bit tomorrow, but it does look like we may see a steadier type rain setup, and it looks like the worst of it's going to be north of I-20. So from Atlanta northward is where we're looking at the best chance to see some sustained rain and a few storms like we're seeing this evening, and like we saw earlier today, some occasional storms possible, but the air is not super unstable tomorrow, and with the persistent cloud cover, we're not really thinking it's going to be a whole big storm event, but heavy rain and some brief rumbles definitely possible. Take you to 5 p.m. and notice northeast Georgia getting in on some of the action potentially, and Metro Atlanta could still be seeing some rain. And of course, if we see hours of rain tomorrow at a time, that's the reason we're a little bit more concerned with that flash flood potential coming up. Rain coverage should slowly decrease as we get into the late afternoon and evening hours. Here's a look at 9 p.m. and notice fewer showers and storms on First Alert Futurecast, and that's going to take us through 11 o'clock tomorrow night, where we are still dealing with some isolated lingering rain, but we may do that all over again on Wednesday. We have seen some signal that we may have some additional waves of rain and storms for Wednesday, and we've gone ahead and posted up that First Alert Weather Day for the middle of the week as well. Here's a look at the tropics. We have Tropical Storm Erin forming at 11 o'clock this morning, and a steady west movement here is expected. So we've got this now moving away from the Cape Verde Islands, away from the west coast of Africa, and it's going to be an environment where it's going to favor some steady strengthening. Right now the winds are at 45 miles per hour, moving west at 21. So it is moving at a pretty good clip. And typically, faster-moving storms don't strengthen quite as fast, but we are seeing a steady strengthening from the National Hurricane Center. Again, the latest track here brings it up to hurricane intensity as early as Thursday, and then brings it up to major Category 3 intensity by Saturday. It could happen sooner than that. Once we have historically seen here recently storms strengthen more rapidly than they have been. So we'll see if this system takes that same track or that same trend or not. But regardless, a major hurricane is forecast to be north of the Windward Islands, north of Puerto Rico sometime this weekend. Good news for those folks there, but of course the angle of the cone, of course, looks like it might threaten the U.S. East Coast, but I haven't seen any models the past few days that bring this much farther west. It does look like that the Bermuda High is going to have a weakness in it, and it's going to kind of move closer to that weakness. So Bermuda itself, the island, could be impacted potentially, but we don't see any concern at the moment for the U.S. East Coast to be impacted, certainly not North Georgia. We don't need to be concerned about that either. Something to watch, though, as we continue over the next few days. If anything starts to change, of course, we'll let you know. But right now, we are not thinking this is going to be a big issue. The latest models here show, and this is through days 5 and 6, and notice all of the hurricane-specific models show a turn to the northwest and the north well before it reaches the U.S. East Coast. So, again, if this changes, we will let you know. But right now, we are thinking this is going to be hopefully a non-issue for us. But anytime a hurricane and a major hurricane gets spun up in the Atlantic, it is something that we will, of course, watch closely. So 2 First Alert weather days tomorrow and Wednesday, and then scattered rain and a few storms sticking around Thursday and Friday. For now, the weekend does look quite hot. We're back in the low 90s, 92 on Saturday with not much rain expected. So this past weekend, we had some dreary conditions and things like that. But this coming weekend, we should have a much brighter weekend, a little more sunshine. Again, with that is going to come some hotter weather. Highs into the low 90s. Both days, morning lows down into the 70s, and it looks like just an isolated chance for a shower Saturday and Sunday and Monday of next week. So after a busy start to the work week and maybe ending it on a busy note Friday, we will ease into the weekend. And for now, looks quite pleasant for mid-August. We should be right at average for high temperature with just a 20% chance of rain lasting again through the weekend into early next week.